You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. Good morning. Today's Friday, March 27th, 2026. This is your Weather Enthusiasm, Khaleft, and you're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. We're just going to quickly go over the extraordinary heat that impacted portions of Missouri and also portions of Illinois yesterday, but especially in Missouri. We're going to speak about why it got so hot. There were many variables that came together, not just one, because the records were broken not just by a few degrees. Records were broken by extraordinary, not as extraordinary as what happened in Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona has seen above normal temperatures ever since March 11th, really. That was the last time temperatures were only in the 80s in Phoenix, Arizona. That's actually normal highs, low 80s for this time of the year. And temperatures have been in the 90s and hundreds ever since. And temperatures are actually going to go up over there again for today, back up to 100 degrees, maybe even a little bit higher for Phoenix, Arizona. We're not going to see a return to more normal temperatures until midweek this week for Phoenix, Arizona. That makes it a 3 weeks of consecutive days of well above normal temperatures, often record-breaking and even record-shattering conditions due to an unusually strong heat dome that developed in the desert Southwest. That was originally in California, moved to Arizona. Eventually, the heat dome, at least the eastern portions of it, even though it started to flatten out, it impacted Missouri yesterday. That brought temperatures up. That only explains part of it, because temperatures would have only been probably in the upper 80s just from that heat dome alone. The heat dome wasn't a powerhouse by the time it hit Missouri, so it would have been record-breaking, but that's it. But we had cities reported with temperatures 97 degrees, a few of them in Missouri. So where did that come from? So we explained yesterday a little bit. We had winds blowing off the Ozark Plateau that happens around the St. Louis area. That produces downslope winds, produces compressional warming that further increases the temperature, also can lower the dew point, which could transfer both the energy put into the dew point into the temperature. Also, the sun becomes more efficient at heating things up. We also had a third component over here, and that's an additional compressional warming occurred in advance of a cold front, which was headed into the area. Compressional warming often occurs right before a cold front moves through. What's also common, however, is for thunderstorms to develop ahead of a front, and a lot of times those two can cancel each other out. We might hear the term compressional warming ahead of a cold front more common in places like Texas, because sometimes, even though the storms are very strong when they form in Texas, but sometimes it could end up being dry, so the compressional warming ahead of a cold front could really increase the heat, and that's what we had yesterday in Missouri. So we have a couple areas where the temperatures went up to 97 degrees in Missouri yesterday. We'll go through that list right now. I arranged a list over here, and some of them are official, some of them are probably not completely official. But Berkeley, Missouri, 97 degrees. That comes from windy.com weather station. Lindenwood Park in St. Louis area was 97 degrees. Shaw Park. Everyone knows Shaw Park, where those tennis courts are, the baseball fields with the lights. High temperature yesterday, 96 degrees, very consistent with what many car thermometers were showing. University City had a high of 95 degrees, reports the windy.com. Spirit of St. Louis Airport, that's considered Chesterfield, high of 94 degrees according to the National Weather Service. The airports are generally considered more official. The exact temperature was 93.9 degrees. St. Louis Downtown Airport, we're being told it's 93 degrees. Also, the Lambert International Airport, 93 degrees. The Cahokia, Illinois, some might say, apparently, that could be the St. Louis Downtown Airport. The Cahokia, Illinois, either way, it's Cahokia, Illinois, 93 degrees. Columbia, Missouri, 93 degrees. Quincy Regional Airport, Baldwin Field, 89 degrees. Those are records. You know, St. Louis is also a record for the month of March. The highest temperature ever for the month of March for St. Louis was 92 degrees. So we now beat that. We didn't shatter it, but we beat it to 93 degrees. Jefferson City, Missouri, 95 degrees. Joplin, Missouri, 92 degrees. Kirksville Regional Airport, 86 degrees. Fort Leonard Wood area, 88 to 92 degrees. There's different some disagreements regarding the temperatures over there. We have an 88-degree reading and a 92-degree reading. And actually, I believe it was 92, just that wasn't marked down yet in the official. If you look at the hourly weather conditions, you will see there was a period of time where it was 92 degrees there. Springfield, Missouri, Branson National Area, 89 degrees. Kansas City, downtown, 95 degrees. Pittsfield, Petstone Municipal Airport, 92 degrees. Parsons Tri-City Airport, 92 degrees. Coffeyville Municipal Airport, 91 degrees. Chanute Martin Johnson Airport, 92 degrees. Rolla, Missouri, 91 degrees. Sedalia Memorial Airport, 91 degrees. West Plains Municipal Airport, 88 degrees. Whiteman Air Force Base, 87 degrees. Belleville, Mid-America Airport, Scott Air Force Base, 89 to 91 degrees. Fort Madison Municipal Airport, 88 degrees. Drakefield, 88 degrees. St. Charles County Smart Airport, 95 degrees. There are some reports that St. Charles may have hit 97 degrees. Washington Regional Airport near the St. Louis area, 95 degrees. Spirit of St. Louis Airport, as we said above. Chesterfield, 94 degrees. We have some broken thermometers as well in Webster Grove. When you see a temperature reported as 107, so we know that that thermometer was broken, or the weather conditions were just not, we assume that was not accurate. We assume that it was a faulty thermometer or in a bad location. Here, the following are some record breakers. The St. Louis, as we pointed out, the March all-time record high was previously set March 24th, 1929. That's almost 100 years ago. Almost 100 years ago was the last time that's the temperature hit 92 degrees. That's been the all-time record high for about 100 years. That was finally broken yesterday as we hit 93 degrees. Columbia, Missouri, it's been well over 100 years. 92 degrees has been the record high since 1907. Since 1907, almost 120 years ago, that's when that record was set. 119 years ago, March 21st, it was 92 degrees. It's never been 92 since. But yesterday we broke that. We broke it at 93 degrees. If people are wondering why are these records from such a long time ago, there's a climatologist on the Washington Post who explains that when it comes to heat domes, the frequency of the heat domes have not changed. According to the scientists, they have not changed due to global warming or greenhouse gases. When it comes to heat domes, the frequency of their occurrences in a new study have shown that it has not changed. So I've read differently on AccuWeather, but the Washington Post, which a lot of times does speak about these things, it was interesting to read that. So we've had some remarkable heat domes that developed in the summer of 1901. In 1907, in March, you'll see a lot of records from then, 1907. So that's where some of these records were broken. That's where they stood. Back then, we broke that yesterday. Columbia, Missouri, 93 degrees. Quincy, Illinois, the previous March record, 88 degrees. Also from the year 1907, March 21. And yesterday it was 89 degrees. So it broke it by 1 degree. And the reason we explained already why it was so hot, but I also have it written down here. And we already went through that. I don't see any reason to read this. Moisture and dew point interplay, we already spoke about that. Strong surface warming and afternoon timing. Okay, it happened at the perfect time, the afternoon. Local station factors, spatial variability, forecast timing, and frontal passage did not yet arrive. The cold front came at the perfect time. Synoptic scale contributing factors. Okay, the decimeter, they combined. So we spoke about all that. What we will say is that a cold front has dropped the temperature very significantly. In fact, already by midnight last night in St. Louis, the official temperature was down to 54 degrees. So what would have gone down is a typical summer night low of 69, which is what it was earlier in the morning, 67, 68, or 69, with a high of 93. It ended up that the low for that date is 54, but that was set after the front went through, and temperatures continue to drop. We now have freeze advisories and freeze watches in effect for a large portion of Kentucky due to the cold air behind this front. But the heat returns on Monday and especially Tuesday. We have another blast of heat coming in. It's not forecasted to have the same intensity as of now, but temperatures going back into the upper 80s, 87 degrees perhaps for the St. Louis area. We're following the ICON model. And by the way, the ICON model was the most accurate model yesterday. The ICON model, we pointed out, showed a high of 93 for Lambert International Airport, and that's actually what it was. That was the one model that actually got it right. In general, the meteorologists were taking whatever the computer models were saying and were upping it by a few degrees due to the winds off of the Ozark Plateau, so that's another way to do it. European computer models showed 91, but then you up it by a few degrees, and we actually, as pointed out, had highs even 97 degrees. A totally inspirational moment to get heat like that. Granted, there was basically no humidity in the start of the afternoon, some minor humidity, low 60s, but nonetheless, for March, it's something pretty intense. And also realize that when temperatures hit 95 or higher, the wind will actually make it feel hotter. So 95 is when you're dealing with a non-humid heat, or humid heat, but especially non-humid heat, so 95 degrees becomes very significant. It's a threshold because of the wind no longer could make things feel cooler, and in fact, the wind could make things feel hotter. So the official high did not make it to 95, but we did have some counties, some areas, which got not just up to 95, but even 97, in a large area 96. I like that Shaw Park reading of 96. That's what I measured in numerous locations. Yesterday in St. Louis, a high of 96. I didn't see 97 myself, but people have reported 97 in some of those counties, as we pointed out. Thank you for listening. I wish everybody a wonderful day and have a great Shabbos.